Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Check, 180.
Mike, check, 59. Bring it.
Kings.
Mike's 5'9", Mike.
On first and 10, Mayfield. Got an open man, it's Washington. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Get in the weight room.
Up.
Throwing, Mayfield. This one caught by Ridley. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Washington. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
In your face.
Hurry.
Check, 59.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 24-yard line.
Hurry.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Washington now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Here we go. And Reed, there in the middle, 55.
Check the tight end, check the tight. Check the tight.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
We own them. We own them.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 45-yard line.
Let's go, boys, let's go.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Throwing on first down. King. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Three down. Yo, I got motion man. Me, I got this.
First carry for James Conner. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
I got you. You're all mine.
King operating from the gun. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
There we go, D.
They'll take
That's
it.
the way to hit.
Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Watch the
They'll
screen.
break the huddle,
Watch
come
the
up
screen.
on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Shaq Lawson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check. Crunch.
Third and long for Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. These two teams all tied after one. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. King. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start the drive with Washington. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
180. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now on first down, it's Washington again. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
59. Here I come.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mayfield. Throwing left side, it's complete. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now King from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. The 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Mayfield looks to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Big stop, let's go.
Mayfield on play action. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
At their own 44-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield, he's going to air one out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 52 yards.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On first, here's Washington. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
57
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
2nd and 5. And he rifles one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
From the gun, King finds his tight end Ingram. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
16-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Keep doing that.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Yeah, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
King now, throwing on first down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. On second down, Connor looking for space. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Here we go. Set. 6 yards.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. He's coming. We got double up.
He's
Looking to throw. King. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Let go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Let's go.
The final shot before break. Washington. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Gano the extra point, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Back to throw. King. Being under pressure again, and down he goes again. Tack McKinley, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. Here's King, operating from the gun. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
180! Mine's 59! And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty good.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
On the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 18-yard line.
Check.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Here we go, here we go.
On second and a couple, Mayfield. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is down to a field goal.
17.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Keller. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd.
54. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling.
Let's go.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Operating from the gun, King to Connor on the check down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here we go. Henry, 57's the mic. No gain on this defense, no gain. 57, Mike, 57. Don't let him breathe. Echo. Breathe.
King to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Coming this way. Here we go.
SOS.
Now King throwing on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deion Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Mayfield now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. A throw over the middle taken in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Tackles.
Alert.
Protect the backer. Shift.
Regular.
They run from the shotgun with Washington.
I got you, boy.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Staying on the ground with Washington. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Mayfield.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Run, run, run. Get that ball. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Mayfield to throw it. Washington's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 19. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice gain.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
Mayfield now. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. The extra point up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Following the interception, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Here's Mayfield. He's got Fuller. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's go.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On first down, it's Washington. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Out. General West. Kings. Hey, alert 33.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield.
That's track.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
At the 30-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Check 24. Check 24.
6-6. Bullet high. Up.
To throw, Mayfield. Complete to Washington. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Good. 180. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
All day. All day.
It's complete to Fuller. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Hey, alert. Watch out.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. They come up in an offset eye. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. A carry here for Holyfield. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now Holyfield. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Elijah Holyfield, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Get ready.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now, it's Connor. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield. We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
They're going to run. Here's Connor. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. He's going to take a shot, and that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Falcons push further out in front. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 40, 20, 10, 5. And he brings this one all the way back. So definitely good for the individual stats. Maybe not for our storyline, but he's in for the late score. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Good. 180.
Mike's 59. 65, 65.
Good.
65.
They'll run on first down. Washington. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Too little, Cupcake.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Good. 59, 20.
Check, 59. Hey, watch.
Alert, 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 alert. What's that?
And they take a knee.
Mayfield on the keeper.
Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the fourth quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you.